Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Now we will understand the contract. Outline agreement. This outline agreement will have the two types. One is a contract. Next one is a scheduling agreement. What is main difference between contract and scheduling agreement? Generally in the contract process, scheduling agreement process, what we doing? It is a long-term agreement for supply of material. Here is the contract and scheduling agreement. The process set. If you want to go for value contract, you can go for the value contract. If you want to go for the quantity contract, you can go for the quantity contract. The everything is in. But the difference between contract and scheduling agreement, the fixed delivery details, delivery date and time for supply of materials, which can be varied. The contract, what will happen? You have the fixed. You don't have the fixed delivery date and time for supply of material. Once you have the contract, with reference to contract, again you need to create the order. But in case of scheduling agreement, it's not like that. Once the scheduling agreement is created itself, it is a legal document. And with respect to the scheduling agreement itself, you can take the stock into consideration. That is a difference between the contract and scheduling agreement. You understand that? That is an agreement. Without scheduling agreements also. Scheduling agreement with the delivery date time for supply materials. This is a difference. And if you talk about the configuration, configuration is same. First, we need to define a document type. And we need to define the number ranges. And we need to assign number ranges to document type. And we need to define screen layout. That screen layout, we need to link to the document type. Again, we need to define the texture. The process is like what we did for the PR, R, F, Q, PO, and same thing we need to do for the scheduling agreements as well. Let's see the configuration. SPR reference SAP Materials Management Purchasing. Here it is a contract. First is defined. Here we have the two types of document types. One is MK, another one is a K is a quantity contract view, K is value contract. In the quantity contract, we need to concentrate only the value of the material. In the quantity contract, we have to only concentrate on the quantity of the material. This is item intervals. You have item 10, 9, 20 and 13. And if you go for field selections, like which field you want to make it as mandatory and optional entry, that all can be managed over here. I'll take one of the document, select this one. Click on a copy. I'll maintain as a CMK. CMK1 is my one of the contract document type. I copied that one. Click on select. Click on save. This is about how we need to maintain like CMK1 is a contract type. Next is a define number ranges. Click on the intervals. Again you check which number range is empty. This is there. What I'll do already as some of the existing number ranges and languages. I will use this as one is my number ranges. And come to the define document types. Click on. Here we can document type is quality contract and value contract. Anyone you have to choose or no, only one. And make it and save this one. Next is we define the document type and the intervals. We assign this. Next is a screen layouts. The way it is here, it is a screen layout. There is a already standard screen layout is a MKVKK. See the already standard layout for quantity contract MKK, value contract to do KK. It's already there again the same concept. If you want to create something new, just copy it and create new. You want to use the same or you want to copy. Just to copy it and create something. What I'll do, MKK I will copy. Select this one. Click on a copy. Copy. Now, I'll send these field selections to the document type. This is like how we need to make this one. Now the CMK is created. These are the configurations which we need to perform earlier. If you want to define texture, you come here again. Copy header rows. Select this one, copy and create something. This was about the configuration about the contracts. How we need to create a contract. You can create even contract. Also, you can create with the reference to PR, the reference to R. As of now, I'm creating without having any difference. I enter the document type and agreement type. What is my agreement type? And what is my purchase organization? What is my purchasing group? Something are maintained. Click on enter. Now contact is asking what is the priority end date. What is the priority start and what is the priority end date? I'll give this priority end date. In case of quantity contract, what you need to give target quantity is a mandatory. In case of value contract, the target value is mandatory. Click on enter. Just enter. Here now it is asking enter target quantity. It is a quantity contract. It is asking target quantity is mandatory. If it is a value contract, the target value is mandatory. Now, if you see, these are the contract item. How we have a PO header and PO item. Similarly, we have the contract header and contractor item. Here one target quantity, quantity and the other quantity and all those things details that you have. If you want to see delivery address, you just select on the track button. You can see the delivery address is a planned address. Now we have the contract. It is asking. Just I'm making this. Just click on the server. If you want to see the header details, you select this one. Just I'm clicking on the server. See someone written some code. Due to that, we are getting. Once we need to click on this one, automatically it should be saved. Some people have changed something. It is like every time it is asking. Once you click on save, the contact will be created over here. This is about how we will do the creation of contracts. If you want to change, say M32 to A, we'll see any existing contact is there. Very few contacts are created. If you want to change contract, you can select this one. Some issues in this process. If you select this edit button change in the change mode, you can change all those things. Like quantity, you can change value. You can change all the details in the contract. In the display, you have the only display access. You don't have any change. This is about how we create the quantity contract. We'll see for value contract. This is having some issue. Now you can see. It is in the value contract. It is asking target the value. Quantity. We are asking for correct quantity value. They are correct. Target value. Same more. We'll just click on enter. Now click on save. See, it is working. Now contract is created. If you want to change this contract, how we can change method to A? Click on enter. Here quantity is not required, but I missed it. I want to maintain. I can maintain. Click on change. And if you want to display the contract / min33A, you can have the display of this contract. This is about, if you want to see the header details, you can select this cap. You can see our agreement date, start date and end date, the purchase organization plan and all those details. If you want to see the address details, vendor address, you can select this. These are the member address in the name. And if you want to see for item details, select this one. Click on the item details. And if you want to see the conditions, select this one. Click on the conditions, item conditions. You can see the different item conditions. And make it. This is about how the contract is maintained. This is about how contracts we are creating the quantity contact and value contacts, how we are maintaining the contacts in the system. 3K to K to 2K for change me to 3K for display. Mr. K for release. Meta for report. And again we have the table EKPO item data for the conference. Now we see the report. Here, you need to come for the tools. Here you need to select the contact. Just click on the execute. How many contacts is created? That list, detailed list will be shown over here. This is about how we can execute the standard reports and how you can execute the table. Here, if you want to see your contact, then you need to select as a document category using K and code. Company code you need to give. And you can see the details. All those things you can see in the system files. This is like how system is maintained the things. Once you get this header PO, this PO, if you pass to EKPO, EKP is header data. ECAP is item data. For here, if you see mandate EBL, which is having the green color, these are the mandatory fields to execute the EKPO report. Just copy, click on the execute. You can see item level details in the EKPO report. In the EKPO, you see the header. Header means document number, purchase organization, company code details. That details you can see. But in EKPO, you can see the item details. This is the contract. Can we discuss next topic, or is it enough for you? If you want to do practice, you can do, or else I will start a new topic. In the same outline agreement, there is one more concept called as a scheduling agreement. What is the difference between scheduling agreement contains pixel delivery data and panel for supply of materials. Which will also having the same configuration. Just I'm not creating any configuration. I will show you. SB or reference IMG Material Management Purchasing and Scheduling Agreement. The same thing. If you want, we need to define a document type. Generally, scheduling agreements document types are three types. One is LP, LPA and LU. LP. The difference is one will have the release process, one will without having the without release. Scheduling agreement with release and without release of the scheduling agreements. Here, if you want to define anything first, we need to select LP. And we need to copy and we need to create a new document type. then you need to define the number ranges. You need to come to number range intervals and you need to check this. Intervals, number ranges. And whatever the intervals is empty, you can maintain that one. Then what you need to do is you need to assign this number ranges to the document type. You need to come over here and you need to assign here. Here you need to assign. Once it is done, then we'll go for the defined screen layouts. Here for LP1 scheduling agreement, LPL1 is here. You need to copy one of the thing and create something new. And you need to come to the document type. And here you need to assign field selection. Field selection. What is the importance of the field selection? To link. Field selection or screen layout. The important is which field you want to make it as a mandatory or which field you want to make it as an optional entry. For that reason only we are using the scheduling. The field selection. For that we are using this. This is about the configurations. If you want to text this one also, we can text. This is like a simple scheduling agreement. Some scheduling agreements will have the just in time or that is. I'm not used it anywhere because in my 8 years of all the projects have not seen any scheduling agreement with the just. Some businesses they are using but not more covered. You can keep on answer. Everything is same just in case of. In case of K, it is a L. The same manner I'm using. Same the screens, the data, whatever you see, everything is same and there is no change. You are informing your supplier what date, what time you want this material. Select this one. Click on the delivery address. Here you are telling your supplier what is a fixed delivery date and how much quantity you want and what time you want this material. All that details you are asking your supplier. Asking source system requirement. We will read that to its source system. Select this one and click on schedules. We will ask what is delivery date and when you want this material. Click on save and by this you can do the GR directly, not required to create any purchase order because scheduling equipment itself is a legal order. And schedule agreements fall under the three zones like farm zone, trade zone, and planning zone. There is some penalties. Farm zone, trade zone, planning zone. What is happening? Planning zone. If you make it as a scheduling agreement with your end supplier, but what will happen? Your supplier, like he starts planning about the procurement of this material. Then what will happen? You go and you tell him, I don't want this material now. Then he don't do any penalty for you and it can be directly utilized. But what happened if he's entered in the trade zone? Trade zone means he procured the material to require your finished product. Then what will happening? He procured that material and at the time you go and tell him, I don't want this material. At the time, what will happen? You need to do the penalty of the trade. Because they are paid the product. Product cost too. Yes, you need to pay. And if he's in a farm zone, then what will happening? Then he started the production to supply your finished product. But at the time now you go and tell him, I don't want this material. Then supply time. Supply time. Supply. What happened? He says, you pay me the production cost and labor cost. Need to pay. No, we need to pay. The same level of these things will be with the vendor as well. Why he need to pay all those things? That's why it is more legally bound bonding and we need to pay the penalties. Now, here in the first process, what we see it is LP. In LP, what is there? First, we need to create a settling agreement. And we maintain the delivery schedules and you can do the goods research. In the LPA, what is happening that one is a without release. It is a release. The read in 84. 84's release. Once it is released directly, you can go for the ordering. Himal. We need to select the LPA. Now settling agreement is created. And then we will start our delivery schedule mini 38. Select this one, go to details and give delivery date. When you want this material and how much quantity you want to maintain and save. Then there is a release, that's a Me84. You select this one and click on the release. Automatically there will be green button. Now you can see just is created. By this one, what you can do? You can do the goods receipt. This is about the just in time. For all this one settling agreements, you will see the fixed delivery date and time for supply of materials. And one more thing is, most are the legally binding. You need to maintain the legal bindings. That is most important, and you need to do the penalties. This topic I am not covered. I'm not seen anywhere except to one company. When they use this process means whenever business don't want to keep the stock in their warehouses. At that time, then people will go this process. This is about the transaction data. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.